Oh, wait. I'm supposed to do the recap. Okay. Let's see here. No, that's trite. Still trite. Even more fucking trite. Finally, some of wait. Phoenix Cross Edgeworth. Turnabout Passion? Hey, Little Miss Topknot.
How many times am I supposed to say it's not a top?
Hey guys, what are you looking at? I did what?
Yes, I can totally see him as a bottom.
Damn it, Maya!
Hey guys, what you doing? Oh, so that's where my book went.
He's even humming a song to himself. Ugh.
Maya, can I ask you something?
Huh?
Do you ever have this feeling when you finally get to an interesting part of the cross-examination and all of a sudden you feel like you're about to get cut off?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
Objection!
I'm afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong.
Quoi? What do you mean?
At the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week, they announced the winning number of a $500,000 lottery ticket.
Oui, that must be the show Monsieur L was listening to.
I can't see any problem with this testimony, Mr. Wright.
I wonder. You say the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 p.m., correct?
Oui, I am sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was that time, because I had just finished serving the lunch menu.
Get to the point, Trite. If you have one.
Fine. That show is broadcast live at 1:30 p.m., and it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life.
It's on the air at 1:30?
Now, supposedly, the victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred after 2 p.m. Because the show had already finished more than half an hour earlier by that point in time. This victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum? Catching a show that was already over? There is only one conclusion you can draw from all this bullshit. This victim was an imposter, acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. Yes, there were 2 Glen Elgs in Très Bien that day. The real Glen Elg, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer. And the phony Glen Elg, acting out the events for Mr. Kudo to witness.
It certainly seems that way. I mean, if that wasn't the case, how could you explain the time discrepancy?
Objection! Quite a performance, Trite. You were almost on a roll.
Huh?
But sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation of rhythm to build your song.
What is this, Music Theory 101?
Let's recap. According to your imaginative theory, it's now just after 2 p.m. The phony elk is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain then where the real Glen Elg is?
Are you really asking me to pour the obvious down your throat, Godot? Because clearly at that time the real Glen Elg was already dead!
That's certainly the obvious conclusion.
Damn.
Objection! Thank you, Trite. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say.
What?
Now I presume you can prove this theory of yours. Can you explain where the missing corpse went to?
The missing corpse?
According to the old man's testimony, there was only one other customer there. If that customer was the phony Glen Elg, then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim?
The prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to examination by the court, you must provide us with proof by answering the prosecution's question. Where did the killer hide the body?
Yes, Your Honor.
No conjecture, Trite. Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden.
Evidence?
What's with the intense pressure in here all of a sudden? Don't crack, Nick.
I thought I cornered him with that contradiction. But he's turned it all around and backed me into a corner instead.
Well, Mr. Wright, the court will now hear the defense's theory and evidence. First, where was the body of the real Mr. L concealed? Inside Tribune.
Would have been too dangerous to take the body outside. Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside Tribune.
Interesting. But where could a body have been hidden inside a restaurant? Perhaps you would care to show the court on these plans, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. The exact location where the body was concealed inside Tribune is... Wait, I was freaking out over this? It's obviously the kitchen. Take that! The body was hidden here! See, look, I'm pointing at it.
I see.
Nice supposition. But the real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location?
I've got your evidence right here, pal. Let's see you turn the other ear on this. Take that! Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle?
No. I have never seen that ugly bottle before in my life. I only use the very best bottles, monsieur. The highest quality only for me.
Where was that bottle found, Mr. Wright?
Interestingly enough, Your Honor, it was found in the kitchen of Tribune.
Quoi? But I only ever use these bottles for my aromatherapy oils.
But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication.
What kind of medication?
I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they? That Mr. Elg visited an otolaryng whatever clinic and was given medication that day!
Can't be serious.
Oh, I'm serious, all right. The defense has analyzed the contents of this bottle, and I have the lab results right here. The contents of the bottle match the prescription that was given to Mr. Elg. Glenn Elg's murderer hid the bottle. Anyway, he hid the body in the restaurant kitchen, at which time the bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen? Oh, yes, I am calling you out on your bullshit, because it was you who hid the victim's body! You did a fine job pretending to defend my client Maggie Bird. However, you were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back.
Order! This is an extraordinary development! Witness, did you murder Mr. Glenn Elg?
Never! I could not do such an horrible thing!
Mr. Godot?
The bitterness. Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. That's one of my rules.
Do you have the slightest idea how many cups you've had by now? Jesus!
Then I like to do the same to the person who lied to me. Take your pants off, Armstrong. I like to take them down with my empty cup. Listen up, chef. I know all about your chocolate salty balls. How about a brand new flavor in your ear? My H-deficient friend.
Je vous demande pardon! Please, you must hear me out! It is a trap! Listen to me, por favor!
Yo hablo español, Mr. Armstrong, and por favor in Spanish.
I'm only gonna ask you once. Did you do it?
No! Absolutely no!
Let's hear it. You've got one shot. Right, Gramps?
Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Godot's coffee mug awaits you. As does my gavel and my beard.
Oui, it is clear.
Didn't Captain Kirk always say something in Star Trek? Oh, right. I have a bad feeling about this.
Very well. Begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong.
It is true. I hid the body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. But I did not kill him. I swear it. You must believe me.
You were forced? By who?
I cannot say, or I will be erased.
Let's try a different question then. When Mr. Elg died, was he really the only man at that table?
There was... There was another man.
I knew it.
Maggie was telling the truth.
You may cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright.
There's just one more thing I need to do. I've got to break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer.
Oh, come on, this is an easy one. A man forced you to do it, well, we all know who that is, unless you haven't been paying attention this entire freaking case. It's clearly Lisa Basil. Just kidding. Anyways.
Objection! Let's end this dance of ring around the rosy, Mr. Armstrong. This is the man that you've been referring to.
Who is that? I feel like I've seen him somewhere before.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe a month ago in this very courtroom? This man is Furio Tigre. He's the manager of a loan office called Tender Lender. There's no point trying to hide the truth anymore, Mr. Armstrong. I know you couldn't go against Mr. Tigre. At least not while he had this on you.
Your loan contract.
Take that! A $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything that this man told you.
Oui, it is as you say.
Finally did it.
Mr. Armstrong.
That Tigre, he told me he was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On the day in question, he was meeting the victim to demand that he repay his loan. I don't know why it happened like that. I just did what he told me to do. I had no choice. I carried the body and the unconscious Maggie out of the dining area and into the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I had seen.
I think we can now safely say that the man who forced your hand was Mr. Furio Tigre.
I do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. The poison in the lottery ticket were recovered from the defendant's apron pocket. Was that your doing as well?
No, I knew nothing about that. Making it look like it was Maggie who had done it. I was not. It is despicable.
Mr. Godot, you will summon this Furio Tigre as a witness. I doubt that can be arranged today, so we will adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow.
30 minutes.
What?
The trial will go on. I'll see to it myself. I need half an hour to get this guy on the stand. Not a minute more.
How the...
Don't sit back and relax yet, trite. No one knows if this chef is really telling the truth or not. This trial could still go either way.
Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Godot. We will resume once Mr. Tigre is ready to take the stand. Until then, court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess. Okay, it's time to begin the final half of the last trial of Case 3! Hooray. Let's do it.
So we're finally going to see the Tigre on the stand! Right where he belongs! We've almost got this case won now, Nick!
I wish I could agree, Maya.
Huh?
When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the Tigre told him to do. But Godot picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without any proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth.
You mean you think Mr. Armstrong was lying?
To be honest, Maya, I don't know. But if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-breaking evidence we're going to need.
Hey, pal!
Whoa! Oh, Detective Gumshoe!
What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hair's standing on end.
Hey, that's the pot calling the kettle black, little Miss Top Knot.
It's not a top knot!
Look, if it makes you feel any better, I have weird hair too. Just calm down, alright?
Easy for you to say.
I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I kinda get wound up.
Well, that's the understatement of the day. Jesus.
Gotta have something you need me to do, pal. Anything.
Well,
Hey, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. I could get some prints analyzed for you if you got an hour.
An hour? What do you mean an hour? The trial will have reconvened by then.
But Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right? Come on.
That's true. Without some kind of trump card to pull directly out of our ass, our weenies are really stuck in a hole. You said you can get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour?
You bet.
In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me? Shit, what was it? It was the medication, right? It has to be. Wait, no, maybe the cyanide.
You got it right the first
Take that!
What are you doing, Nick?
What do you mean?
If Detective Gumshoe's going to check some prints for us, shouldn't he be checking this?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot, Maya. You made me look like a fucking idiot. Thanks a lot. You're happy?
That's that small bottle I gave back to you this morning, right?
Yeah, it's the victim's ear medication that we found in the kitchen.
Look, it even says covered and identified fingerprints right in the court record. Right there.
Just enough as it is. Stop making me look like I'm stupid!
That's why you read.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, that's been gnawing at me too.
So you'll look into it for us? Awesome! At least someone's accountable.
What about the other thing I asked you to run a check on?
Oh, that. Sure, I'll see what I can do if I've got any spare time.
Spare time? Well, I feel so unimportant right now.
Okay, I'll get this off to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back.
Alright, see ya. This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess.
It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys, in more ways than just the hair.
Well, let's do it.
Court will now reconvene. Mr. Godot, did you find this Furio, Tigre?
Even obtained him for you. It was a 3-cup job. No problem.
tamed him. The guy's name may be Furio Tigre, but come on.
He's pretty lively. Be careful, he still bites. Gumshoe lost a pinky toe.
Very well. Please show Mr. Tigre to the stand. A witness, please state...
Well, there goes my left eardrum.
Goodbye!
Don't hide under the table, Maya. Unless there's room for me down there, too.
This
Come
is
on,
my
make room.
table floor, and I'm not leaving it!
Fine.
What'd you say to me?
No, nothing. I didn't say nothing, honest.
Who could have guessed that fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge?
I've got business to take care of. You hear me? Who the hell called me into this hole? Was it you, Spiky?
No, of course not. Actually, it was the judge. Where are you, your beardness?
Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it?
What?
Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal.
That's it. We're doomed.
Maybe you didn't hear me. I said, who the hell was it that caught me in here? Don't make me trank you again. What you say? There's no point struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. And I'm the one that hauled you in.
Not gonna lie. That was kinda cool.
Don't let him get the better of you, Nick! Fight!
Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct? Incident? I don't know nothing about no stinking incident, mask boy. You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird? Maggie who? I've got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas.
Of course. Well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then? Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder. Please, pretty please, with a cherry on top. Don't eat me.
Phoenix Wright. You's the one who set this up, didn't you? You's gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying?
Maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today.
Get a grip, Nick!
I don't know nothing about the murder. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all of my time in my office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from Ted and Linda every single day. Wanna check my alibi? Just ask via letter.
At last I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright, you're crossing... What is it, please, witness, if you could refrain from shouting out like that?
I know the type of games that guy Blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away a stupid detail till he wins.
Low life? Me?
Listen up, Smarty. Every time you ask me something that don't relate to this case, I'm gonna pay you $50,000, and you's gonna borrow the cash from me.
That's one loan contract I refuse to sign.
Don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you get tangled with the tiger. Huh. I love a good spectator sport.
Just a minute, there's really not...
The witness is... How can I put it? A hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side and he'll bite everyone's head off. Yours too.
Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here.
You better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus.
The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of the witness's testimony, mostly because the beard is scared shitless. Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can do it, Nick! Believe in us who believes in you!
Come out from under the table already, would you, Maya? Tied up with business in December. Really? Because if I recall correctly, you were tied up with stealing my identity, you son of a bitch! Objection! This evidence is clearly brought to you by the number 2! Or 1, I don't know. Crap, what was I doing? Oh, right, I was cross-examining.
Hold it!
Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know.
You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is.
Sharp? Is he talking about Viola Cadaverini?
She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was.
That seems like a rather, sketchy schedule.
There goes again. What the Tiger did in December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder. So, now what? I'll press harder. Mr. Tigre!
What you want?
If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail.
Objection! This is a dead end, Trite, and you know it. Remember the rules, bitch!
Objection! Screw the rules! It's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately.
I agree.
The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day, too?
Maybe you ain't listening. Of course I was! I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats who wanted to do business with me. I ain't never seen that young kid before.
I do believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Godot, if you could please...
Mr. Tigre, the court asks that you add that last statement to your testimony.
Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself. Anyway, now that we added that to the testimony, he's never seen that kid before.
This is Maya, who is under the table. Why do you keep banging?
I know the virus was in the crime scene, so maybe the virus...
Really?
No, it's too big of a risk, never mind.
Because I did say you can come under here now, there's room for 2.
Maybe the cyanide?
I really hope you're looking over your evidence.
Look, I don't know, okay? For crying out loud, you act like my days are numbered or something. Wait a minute, the calendar! The calendar, that's it, yes! Objection! Mr. Tigre, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glenn Elg, but it appears that Mr. Elg knew you.
What?
Mr. Elg left this little note on his calendar. Meet with a tiger. Dated December 3rd.
December 3rd? That's the day of the murder!
So, Mr. Tigre, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glenn Elg.
I'm still here, you